Level 1. The curious child. You watch the bright numbers glow on chalkboard in your quiet classroom now. A sense of logic and order fills your young and very brilliant mind. Your parents push you toward academic excellence in a structured suburban home setting. You feel the cold metal of a math compass in your small hand. The sound of rustling paper is the only comfort you truly need. Today, you skip grades feeling distant from children who do not understand your world. A quiet detachment grows while you solve complex equations in your private thoughts. You notice the friction of the pencil lead against the rough white page. The physical world feels messy compared to the purity of pure abstract numbers. You observe the electrical wires hum with a hidden power. Above the street, social interactions are puzzles that you cannot solve with simple and clear logic. You prefer the silence of the library where the air smells of old paper. A subtle resentment forms against the loud and chaotic nature of modern life. The weight of your backpack is a heavy and constant burden you carry. A desire for complete isolation begins to take root in your young mind. Level 2. The isolated teenager. Harvard is a sprawling maze of red bricks and heavy wooden doors. Now, you walk the halls alone, feeling the weight of your own great intellect. The cold wind bites your face as you move between the dark buildings. You participate in a psychological study that breaks your trust in human systems. The bright lights of the lab feel like needles against your sensitive eyes. You feel the rough texture of the electrode wires against your pale skin. A deep hatred for the scientists begins to boil in your quiet chest. You learn that technology is a tool used to control the human spirit. The sound of the ticking clock is a constant reminder of lost time. You isolate yourself in a small room surrounded by your many heavy books. Your thoughts turn toward the wilderness where the modern world cannot reach you. You feel the smooth surface of a slide rule in your trembling hand. The complexity of the machine age is a disease you must soon cure. You plan your escape from the cage of a high-tech industrial society. The call of the mountains is a loud and very persistent internal hum. Level 3. The student of death. You buy a small plot of land in the wild woods of Montana. Now, the smell of pine and damp earth is better than the city air. Today, you build a tiny cabin with your own two strong and capable hands. The weight of the hand saw is a physical reality you now embrace. You live without electricity or running water in the cold and dark silence. The sound of the axe hitting wood echoes through the empty mountain valley. You watch the industrial machines destroy the trees near your private forest home. A cold rage solidifies in your mind against the growth of modern technology. You study the mechanics of combustion and chemistry of unstable explosive powders. Now, the texture of the wood glue is sticky and thick on your steady fingers. You realize that words are not enough to stop the coming metal end. You calculate the trajectory of the blast within a small and wooden box. The line between a hermit and a soldier is now very thin indeed. You prepare your first device. With the precision of a master clock maker, you are ready to send your message to the busy and unsuspecting world. Level 4. The stalker. You watch the university mailroom from a distance in the bright morning sun. The anonymity of the post office is a shield for your quiet work. You select targets who represent progress of the high-tech industrial machine. Now, the distance from your cabin to the town is exactly 60 miles away. You observe the researchers through the windows of their clean and white labs. Your breathing is slow and rhythmic as you carry the heavy brown package. The cool mountain air stays with you as you enter the city streets. You follow the patterns of the scientists, making no sound on the pavement. The weight of the stamp feels significant as you press it down hard. You visualize the exact moment when the lid will be opened by them. Their academic success is a target that you will soon destroy with fire. You have studied delivery routes for 3 months from your secret and small cabin. The feeling of being a judge is a quiet rush of pure blood. You check your watch and note it is exactly 9 in the morning. The package is in the system and you prepare to fade into green. Level 5. The novice killer. The wooden box is smooth against your palm as you mail the device. Resistance is a physical sensation. that you overcome with your intense mental focus. You feel the heat of the fire in your mind for a moment. Now, the sound of the explosion is distant, but you hear it very clearly. You count the days until the news reports the damage you have done. The smell of burnt circuits and smoke fills your dark and quiet dreams. Your muscles burn. From the long bike ride back to your lonely cabin, you move the tools back to their secret place under the wooden floor. The mercury switch clicks with a tiny and very sharp metallic sound. Today, you feel a sense of completion as the headline confirms your first strike. Your hands do not shake as you clean the workbench with careful precision. The night is peaceful while you listen to the owls in the trees. You stop at a mountain stream and drink the cold and clear water. The reflection in the water shows a man who is now a ghost. You have crossed the line, and the message is finally being heard now. Level 6. The Predator. You refine your bomb designs, making them more compact and much more powerful. The components you use are common items that no one can ever track. You use hand-carved wooden parts to ensure your own total operational safety. The devices are waiting in the mail for their specific and chosen targets. You target an airline flight while the sun is high in the sky. The fear inside the cabin is a result of your own careful calculations. You select a computer store in a quiet part of the city streets. The owner is alone, and the trap is set for his busy hands. You feel the rough bark of the trees under your bare right hand. The campaign moves forward with the efficiency of a well-oiled metal machine. You use the headlines to track the progress of your long war. Today, the logic of your crime is built on the destruction of the system. You watch the panic grow, but they have no idea who you are. The gap between the events makes a pattern impossible for them to find. You are a ghost moving through the heart of the modern technological world. Level 7. The Collector. You keep the detailed journals in a hidden box beneath your cabin floor. The pages are a record of your war against the weak and dying. You revisit the moments of the blast in your detailed and cold mind. The weight of the manifestos you wrote is a heavy and secret burden. You study the faces of the injured with a quiet and neutral smile. The media calls you a phantom, but you are just a disciplined man. You feel the texture of the pencil as you write your final demands. The code name is written on a small piece of paper in your pocket. You send your words to the newspapers to force them to listen. Now, the thrill of the power is a secondary rush to your main goal. You watch the society tremble with every single word that you have written. Your collection of hate grows larger with every year that passes by. Now, the wilderness is a fortress where you set the rules for the game. You feel a sense of ownership over the fear you have created. Today, one single slip will change everything, but you feel very safe and strong. Level 8. The Media Phantom. The FBI gives you a name that the public will remember forever. Now, you sit in your small cabin and read the news with total calm. The profile they create is a fiction that does not fit your life. You laugh at their theories about your motives and your dark social background. The cooling off period is a choice that you make with great discipline. You focus on your garden and your traps like a normal wild man. The duality of your life is a masterpiece of perfect and calculated acting. You feel the warmth of the wood stove while the snow falls out. The hatred in your chest is a cold stone that never melts away. You plan a final move to force the system to publish your truth. The air in the valley is sharp and bites at your red face. You walk through the forest while the wind hums a low, steady tune. The police are looking for a young man with a very violent past. You are an old man in a cabin with a very big plan. One single letter to your brother is the start of the final end. Level 9. The Cross-Country Killer. The heavy boots of agents crush the dry leaves outside your cabin. Today, you open the door and wait for the men to approach your home. The smell of the forest is clean and hides your inner sudden dread. They ask for your name, and you give it with a steady voice. The search of the shack reveals the items you could not hide. Now, you feel the cold steel of the handcuffs for the very first time. The transition from free man to prisoner is a sudden and sharp shock. You sit in the back of the black van And watch the trees. The investigators arrive and start to ask about the bombs. In the mail, you realize the written words of your brother were your only big error. The weight of the journals is building like a wall around your body. You refuse to speak, but your cabin tells the story of your war. The courtroom is large and the air is very still and very dry. You watch the faces of victims. As the evidence is finally shown now, the scale of your work is revealed to the shocked and quiet world. Level 10. The untouchable. You sit in the Supermax cell and write a long letter. To him, the walls are white and the light is always on above your head. You feel the scratch of the pen against the thin blue paper. Today, the cameras watch you through the small lens in the heavy steel door. You have a secret mind that you do not share with the doctors. The sound of the gate closing is the rhythm of your new life. You hide your final thoughts under the thin mattress of your small bed. The sensation of the concrete floor against your feet is a final reality. You do not want the world to forget why you fought the machine. The silence of the prison is a blanket that covers your aging mind. You feel the breath leave your body as the cell becomes very dark. The end is a physical fact that you accept with a quiet mind. You are finally untouchable. Because they can no longer control your wild soul. The news will report your death, but your words will live on forever. The mystery of your rage remains buried in the heart of the forest.
You just watched someone lose everything they were. But there's a subject whose story starts even darker. No childhood, no normal, just the pattern. Watch what that looks like.